Welcome to the special edition of the Weekend Update, Hanover. I'm Emily Georges.
And I'm Andrew Cox.
Fork outage goes into its third year with no signs of abating. In response, Cafe North has put a wall around its fork station. When asked for a comment, the cafe owner has claimed that Jose and Jesus will pay for it.
Are you kidding me? I'm not paying for that.
An unsuspecting medical student was in for a surprise when he showed up for a local chapter meeting of the alt-right movement. Thinking it was a support group for left-handed people, when asked for a comment, he said, "I thought I was finally in a safe place against these right-handed fascists."
In a recent email, students were reprimanded for signing each other into a required class. However, later, scandal broke out when students realized only one faculty member had been present for the writing of this email, raising questions: who signed everyone else's names?
Next weekend, the Women in Medicine Interest Group will be co-hosting an event with the Knitting Interest Group. They will be knitting pussy hats in solidarity for the political movement that has been growing in strength since Inauguration Day. In what seems to be a similarly politically charged event, the Men in Medicine Interest Group are hosting an event entitled 50-40, addressing the hot topic of why men only make up 40% of the Gaza class when they make up 50% of the population. That's good.
A new world record was recorded this past Monday when first-year students were held in their seats for over 45 minutes before given the exam password. Thanks, Gary.
2 medical students had to withdraw this past week after being stuck inside their reflection. Upon another reflection for their IH&H class. After resurfacing from their trance, one medical student said, "You will not believe the things I have seen. It only felt like 30 minutes, but I guess I was down there for 3 months."
As another microwave goes down and lunch crowds increase, a stampede warning in the Remsen kitchen between 12:15 and 12:20 p.m. has been officially released by the administration. This is effective immediately. Stay safe, folks.
As you know, this year has already been notorious for what we've seen called as alternative facts. To comment, our very own Dean Dwayne Compton. Thanks for coming on the show, Dean.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
So, Dr. Compton, we wanted to talk to you about some of the impact that social media has had this year, and we know you have quite a social media presence.
Well, yes, I see you follow my Instagram site, @Dwayne Compton. Did you see the recent pics of Mount Adams? So beautiful.
We sure did. We also discovered let's call it an alternative Twitter account with the handle @DComptonDReal.
Yes, I use Twitter. I tweet on and off.
Though some of the things you've said on Twitter seem not to be true.
Well, wait, I don't think that they're not true. I think these are alternative facts.
All right, well, let's hear some of those alternative facts.
Well, @Remsen. Wow, construction is now complete. All the bathrooms are now fully functional and so accessible. Never out of order. #make Geisel flush again.
Actually, have you seen the first floor? Or even the second or the third?
Oh, no, I'm actually rarely on campus. But the bathrooms in Rope Ferry are quite nice, and those at DH function very well.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and let's read another one.
Okay, @SBM. Great patient panel today. Patient talked the entire time. Full student engagement, 100% attendance.
So, Dr. Compton, we actually have a side-by-side picture comparing the class to another required session, and see for yourself.
Well, where do you get these pictures? These are bad angles. You can't see the margins properly. Everyone was in the bathrooms, which work great, by the way. Great flushing.
Well, let's read just one more.
Okay. Congrats, @Patients and Populations, for once again securing the highest positive classroom feedback. Wasn't even close, by at least 3 million students.
Sir, we don't even have 3 million students. How is that physically possible?
Again, fake news, just fake news, period.
All right, let's see if this can't get any better.
Okay.
Can you read just one more?
Just one more. How about @Geisel? Excited about Skits night. Can't wait to hear the rest of the fake news that you talk about today.
Well, there you have it, folks. Thanks very much for coming on to the show today.
Glad to be here.
Until next time.
faculty hold a protest this weekend over the new parking regulations that prohibit all parking between the hours of 8 a.m. and 12 noon in their parking spots. When asked for a comment, Dartmouth College claimed that the parking spots were necessary for their athletes for morning practices.
This just in, a special news bulletin. Captain Med School himself, Doctor in Training Alex Orfanos, wants everyone to remember that Thirsty Thursdays is very much still a thing at Ramuntos and will continue to be until he graduates in the spring of 2018. See you there, Alex. Also, in case you miss him there, you can catch him Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or even Sunday on Ockham Pond. Keep up the great work.
History repeats itself in this latest gathering of Dean's Lunch. M1s continue to question the fairness of ECHO, asking professors to not only present themselves in holographic form to lecture, but also offer themselves in ritual sacrifice. M2s concerned about step 1 only wish they could offer themselves for ritual sacrifice while listening to this discussion about ECHO.
Quiz scores take a dip among M1s, as Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease, that wily disease of prions, resurges among the class of 2020. Cause: an M1 brought a caramel macchiato into Chocout Lab. There's a reason why there's no food or drink in there, folks. Now, I'm sure we all remember the controversial policy put in place last year where dogs were banned from the Geisel campus.
This is ridiculous. Everybody knows there are no dogs allowed on campus. I mean, we've had 2 Dean's Lunches about this, and it's in the handbook.
Mav and I have been waiting a long time for this policy to be overturned, and finally, it might be happening. Thanks to you, bud.
Well, it's been a year, and we wanted to see how our staff and students have adjusted to the new policy.
I don't think the dogs add anything here. They make a lot of noise. The janitors don't like them. People sort of make a big deal of them, and this is a medical school. This is not a kennel.
Come here, Hobbs. I know. No, you're not being banned here. Come here, Hobbs. Hobbs actually has prepared a written statement about the dog ban policy. Think how much more enjoyable it would be learning about VQ mismatch with me cuddled up on the floor next to you.
It was a sad day when I came home and told Whippy that she would be banned from my office in the medical school, but the good news was she was thrilled to know that somebody actually found her scary and intimidating.
The dog ban policy? I don't really have a strong opinion about that. I think the students should decide what to do about the dog ban policy.
But the students weren't the only ones affected by the POFL policy.
Ada, can you tell us, are there any positives that's come out of this dog ban policy? I know, it's definitely difficult. Do you think that the reason they incorporated this dog ban policy is because they think you're bad to the bone? That's really rough. Are there any secrets that you're burying that we ought to know? And that's the news from my end.
This just in. The dogs are currently protesting the dog ban in Remsen.
There's battle lines being drawn. Nobody's right if everybody's wrong. Young people speaking their minds are getting so much resistance from behind. Time we stop. Hey, what's that sound?
Well, looks like those dogs have some bones to pick with the administration. That's your update on the dog ban policy. Breaking news. The On-Dock office has been restocked with Twix and Reese's.
Oh, I think you know what that means, Andrew.
I sure do, Emily. It means it's time for us to take a break with a message from our sponsors.
Thanks. See you next week.